Muy buenos días, muy buenas noches, good morning, good afternoon, there in France. Me da mucho gusto estar esta mañana acá en México para hablar con Yang Pulaixin, quien es un artista que ha participado en el festival y que ha sido un gran apoyo en muchos sentidos. Y les voy a presentar rápidamente quién es ella. Nace en Chongqing y Pulaixin es una artista investigadora interdisciplinar, multilingüe, productora y educadora que es experta en arte de los nuevos medios y artes de la imagen. Con más de 10 años de formación vocal profesional en ópera y composición en un conservatorio, es licenciada en arte de los nuevos medios por el Instituto de Bellas Artes de Sichuan y máster por la japonesa Universidad de Arte Musashino en Artes y Ciencias de la Imagen. Sus estudios e intercambios artísticos la han llevado a Estados Unidos, of all places, Italia, Taiwán y otras regiones, y actualmente reside en Francia. Por eso es que estamos ahora directamente a las 8 de la noche en Francia. Su trabajo abarca los límites de las artes visuales, el performance, la composición, los medios digitales y proyectos artísticos socialmente comprometidos, con obras de arte e investigación presentadas en numerosos festivales internacionales de arte, exposiciones e instituciones académicas, y desde 2021 inicia y es directora artística del Festival de Arte Sairai, o en español Revisitar, que se realiza en Tokio. Ella ha participado en este último festival, el quinto festival Mirarnos desde el Este, con 3 obras muy diferentes cada una. Una es un video performance que se llama, a ver si lo puedo pronunciar bien, Natsukitemo Tadahishotu Tsubano y Tohakana. También es un documental corriendo en el campo de la esperanza con el cambio del urbanismo en Chongqing, y el documental, y la habitación ambientada en Final Fantasy XIV, P. Hola. Y bueno, welcome, my dear Pulaixin. I can hear you. Yeah. Welcome to this talk, and I am very glad to receive you. And well, I hope that you can see. I can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yes.
Now, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yes. So, well, I will give you the microphone and the camera and everything, so you can start, and we can talk later. I hope that the people can make some comments and questions and everything like that. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. My name is Pulaixin, and thank you for being there. And thank you, Elizabeth, for creating this place and for sharing, for understanding. That allows me to introduce my practice in Asia to the Spain-speaking region. And I'm truly honored. So, today, the project I'm going to show you is what I'm doing in Japan right now. It started from 2021, and this year is a 5-year of this project. And this project, I will going to show you along these regions chronically through a slide. So right now, I'm going to open my slides. So, and during my presentation, if you have any question, just feel free to ask. Just tell the host, maybe just leave a comment. Elizabeth, can we just read the comment somewhere? Like
we have a private chat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and YouTube too. On Facebook.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to sharing my screen.
Yeah.
And I hope it's clear to read.
Yeah, I can see very quite clearly.
Okay, very nice. So my art project in Tokyo happens in a region or just in a street which is called Sanya. And we're doing this art project from a urban development perspective. So I'm going to introduce myself again, just as Elizabeth said before, I am a transmedia artist and I work and live in several countries, for example, Japan, China, and right now I'm in France. So my curiosity in art is how we can connect the world through the art languages. So that's why I'm doing trying to make different art forms and art communication during different cultural backgrounds, different places or spaces. So this is the outline for today's speaking. Firstly, I'm going to show you the project, the Sairai project in Tokyo. What is it and where does it happen? And secondly, I'm going to show you the history of Sairai project from 2021 just until today. And thirdly, maybe I will talk a little bit about our future prospect, what we're going to do this year in October and in the future as a foreigner who live in Japan. So what is Sairai? Sairai is an art festival which happens in Sanya district of Tokyo, where participants take part in the walking tour using a guidebook and to discover artworks that's created in this area. So that means every artwork is not a ready-made from an art studio, but created with the local people. And this project brought a lot of international artists and members, their perspectives, and precisely because these members don't know how Sanya worked before, they don't know Sanya's history, so they are able to create a new approach and new perspectives to understand this place and what is going to happen in the future out of those stereotypes that were already rooted in the Japanese people's heart. So from this comparative research perspective, the work themselves can be seen as a process of organization history and also serving as a platform for dismantling fixed identities. Through this project, we want to ask the question, how is the city being built by different choices administratively, and what is a concept of outsiders, of a foreigner? So as you know, Sairai project happens in Sanya. So where is Sanya and what is it? So Sanya is actually an area centered in Minami-bashi, Minami Senju and Namida-bashi, located between the Taito ward and Arakawa ward, where the place name has been lost. So that means today you can't go to the Japanese website and search Sanya, then they will tell you that Sanya is a real place, but they will tell you it's a place that's been erased from the history because of gentrification that the Japanese governments want to put into this area. And so currently, Sanya in Japan is known as Sanya, not with the kanji characters which is shown in the first paragraph, but with the hiragana. So you can see they both pronounce the Sanya, but their writing way are different. So Sanya was a day labor town before and was considered as a ski road. In Japanese, we call it a doya street. which means you can see a lot of homeless people who can't afford their apartment, their hotel, is living on the street. And for the vagabonds, for the like visa-less foreigners. But ironically, you can also see the new Tokyo Tower. So it's called Skytree, which is built in 2012 from this area, and which signs that new Tokyo is on the way. So in the one hand, Japanese government want to let this place to be cleaned, but in the other hand, we can't just ignore this history and let these homeless people go away from their like normal life, but send there to nowhere. So that's why I wanted to start this project. If you want to know more history about the Sanya, you may trace to 200 years ago. Like in the first image, we can see it's execution ground, which is called Kotsukahara. This place is a historical place that you can find in today's Sanya area. And if you go closer, you may know that a lot of people who are not really criminal, but who did something is being executed in this area. So a lot of people, their family cried for them in the Namidabash station, which means a bridge of tears. And in this second picture, you can see that the most famous street of prostitute, Yoshiwara, is just like near this Sanya area. So the day workers, after a hard labor every day, they can just go to Yoshiwara, go to find their woman who may be in love with them, and have a night with them. Depends all of what they gain for a day, and go back to work another day. So their life was like day after day, never have a saving, never had a normal life. And in the Meiji area, and in Meiji era, there was a city tramway. But today this is being cancelled from the Japan's transport, from Japan's public transport. So the industrial city Tokyo, we can trace its history from the Meiji era. But until today, 150 years later, Sanya area is still a place where gathering the like day workers, like people who make living without a proper job, people who don't have a home, people who is lost from somewhere is not Tokyo, from a countryside of Japan. So Sanya served as a refugee of vagrants who could never be absorbed in Ueno, which is a more gentrified district just near the Sanya. And after the World Second War, Japan experienced very rapid economic development. Then Sanya quickly attracted a lot of workers with its potent infrastructure, like just hotels, and with informal transportation, just supporting the development of Tokio. So we can see from the first picture, a lot of workers in the early morning want to find a job, and they just wandering on the street, want to talk to someone else, and want to earn a job from someone they may never know. And most of them are men. Like, you don't see women will go out of the home and looking for a living in this period of Japan. Women was considering like at home or I don't know, domestically waiting for the man. And on the second photo, we can see this is a reporter. Like this is a report photograph of a commotion in the cities. In the cities, a lot of people come to Sanya and they don't know how to find a job. Then they think the government just abandoned them. So that's why they gather together and went to the police station, like fight for their human rights. So with all this history, we can see that Sanya today is a neighborhood full of the day laborsmen who don't have a fixed habitation, and the female communities organizers. But there's no new generation, no children. You don't feel this place is actually vital, and you don't know where this place is going to go, and no Japanese people wanted to come again to Sanya because during the 60s and 70s, people there was kind of dangerous, and this area was on the blacklist of Japanese people's heart. So that's why no one wants to get in and nobody can get out, because the society doesn't accept those people anymore, and they stay there in Sanya until they die. Just work and leave, work and leave. Sanya was a place that totally lost the connection with the normal society of Japan. So here I find an extract of article which says, the era of high economic growth. Many of the Japanese remember it as a glorious time. However, in books related to the history of Sanya, it is not portrayed that way. Rather than that, the shadows are emphasized more than the light. So that we can say it's really heterotopia when in the 16th and until today. So since I'm from China, so if you make me do the comparison, I will say that it's might like an urban village in Beijing or in other metropolitan cities in all over the world, where you can find, as a city developed, a lot of people was exiled from their homeland, was not able to find their new way to work themselves out. Then we want to bring up another question, which is, what are outsiders? Like, they're people, really foreigner people, or they're people who just don't know what is happening, who has been abandoned or lost in their way. So here we're going to give the definition of outsiders. So we think there are people who speak the same language, and living in the same place, but however, exists a different dimension. So this dimension might be timely or might be hierarchically. That's we don't know. That depends everybody's situation. But in this definition, we can see that foreigners are also outsiders, but they maybe speak the same language, and they wanted to make a connection with the local people, but they just couldn't find a way. So in this sense, the member of our production team, like where most foreigners from to the Japan, where most foreigners, we can be outsiders just like the people who live in Sanya. The only difference is that they have a Japanese nationality, but we're not. So then we're going to bring another question. What can we do for Sanya? Since we think art is a really soft form of relocating the connection between communities to communities, we think that people might accept something that's that will give them pleasures rather than something it's called indifference, like academic research or documentary things. So we decided to make this art project by creating a space for communication and for thinking the urban development and migration. And we hope that if people live somewhere seeing others' life and trying to understand the others' life, so the other life from other people, just for example, who live in Sanya, maybe they'll find them new self and rethinking what has happened in this society and what kind of dimension they are living. Then they'll try to understand here and now means what to everybody. So that's what we decided. So that's how we decided to do this art project in Sanya area. So if you have any question about Sanya, just don't hesitate. Just raise up your hand and tell me what's your thought about this place, and if your country, if your places has this kind of slums too, maybe. Okay, so if no, we are going to talk about the project itself. So then let me show you the history chronologically of Sairai. So Sairai in Japanese means come again, literally. Like if you Sai means just again, and Lai means come. So this title of our art project show that for the organizers, we wanted someone to come to visit a certain place regularly, but not just bring something here and go, just like a passenger of a certain place. Because if you try to stop yourself and visit somewhere regularly, you'll find a strong connection with a certain place, and you will like able to observe what kind of changes happens in a certain region. And it's written just like you can see in our logo in these kanji characters. So the Sairai was launched in 2021 with the help of Tokyo University of Arts. And due to the COVID-19, the Japanese government introduced a lot of policies to maintain the vitality of arts and cultural activities. So that's why Tokyo University of Arts wanted this kind of art project happened, because it's focused on rebuilding the human relationship. Since this was an emergency for the society, the government was not putting any restrictions on nationalities of applying this grant. So even if we are foreigners, we could also participate in this kind of project, and we successfully gained the project grant. So that's how Sairai started. So the first year, from the May until August, we did several events with the local people and the field works with a team member. So we visited to the local facilities and greeted to the local residents. For example, in the left side, you can see a picture, like a group of people is cleaning the street, like they're picking up the trash from the street. Those people are from a hotel, and they are living in a hotel, like a monthly rented hotel, but they are daily workers, and they are all single 60 years old man who is still working for their daily depends. And by using this way, we successfully penetrate in this area because, as I introduced before, this place is really not easy to access because its unique history prevent people's heart and the connection and their desire to rebuild the connection to the outside world. But by doing this kind of activities and by showing our sincerities, that they finally accepted us to hold an art project here and to introduce their life to people out of Sanya. And this was happened and our art festival was happened in October. Then at the end of the year, we made a collection of photos and videos, and we create documentaries and to write a report to a government. So by doing this, we're by doing this kind of archives, we're able to tell people what we are doing and to start making connections from Sanya area to the other places, but not only in the Tokyo. Those are also a lot of interesting activities that we did before. Like since we invited a lot of foreigner artists who don't have stereotype towards Sanya and who can talk to us equally. Like we had many discussion of comparative culture that tells us a place like Sanya maybe happened in a lot of play in a lot of countries, and every country they have their own history, and maybe they are making different forms of slums. And the picture on the left you can see is we should say it's a local organization supporting activities like the local NPOs. They make food every day and distribute it to the homeless people. Maybe they are not truly homeless, just like I introduced before. Maybe they are living in the monthly paid hotel. So this kind of supporting system do exist in this area. But this picture is what I found in online in 2019, I guess. So it's before the COVID. When I was doing the field work during the COVID, there was no this kind of activities, and we really didn't know how could those people survive during the COVID. So this what you're saying is a guidebook of a Sairai Sanya Art Festival in 2021. As you can see, we marked a lot of artworks on the map, and by searching this map, visitors can explore the local places and experience the local life in a kind of way that they want, because we provide not only the exhibitions but also movies, also workshops, so people just can find out what they want to do and visit what they want to visit. So it's quite free. The entrance is just near the train station, and by 10 minutes after by foot you can just access the Sanya area. It's really easy to get in. Those are the artworks of the first year. We had a performance art on the street, and we had wall painting on the roller wall of izakaya, and we had the exhibitions in the inner side spaces, and we also have a workshop which you can participate. So what you're saying, those artworks, they are not built in the studio, but they were created during our field work, during the artists' communication with the local people, during those endless negotiation with administrative institutions, with local facilities. So there's nothing simple. We can see there's no rules in this region. Like if you want to do something, you have to let the local people admit to you, and you have to show your respect. We even did something in a shrine, like you can see in the second and the first pictures. So after 1 year's we could say it's just a small practice in Sanya. Me and my friends, we started the second year in 2022 because we had not like a dream, but we had a wish that we can have a deep talk to the local people and understand deeply how Tokyo is constructed. So the second year we were saying we're going to do this year by year continuously if we have a budget, if we have enough energy, because at the point of time we think that maybe we're already a member of this community, a member of Sanya, a member of the outsider. So after several reflections on 2021, we made a plan and started 2022, the second version of Sairai Sanya Art Festival. And for doing this, we started like pre-event activities, like kickoff activities during May until October. This kind of activities, including historical sites and artworks, like we gather people who is interested to this area, and we make like a route travel. It's not kind of thing like we talk, like we say sites like sightseeing, but it's more like, you know, introduce historical landmarks here and introduce what we did in 2021 to let people know our concept of start this art project and also this place deeper. By the way, this Sanya area is just near to the Asakusa. If you have ever traveled to Tokyo, you would know that Asakusa is a famous tourist gathering place, and every day is a bunch of people who might gathering in front of the Inari shrine. And just 2 blocks further, here's the Sanya area. So here, when we are doing a field work, we could see numerous tourists just passing in front of our vision, but they have no idea that they are passing through an area that we're calling slums in Tokyo. This is the most interesting part of our fieldwork, actually. And we also made a documentary of artist talk of 2021. And for people who wants to know our better, you can consult our YouTube channel. There you will find our documentary of artists and documentary of art project of every year. So those pictures are what we took in 2022. Comparing with the 2021, this year we really had some local members who like help our project voluntarily. As a third image that you can see, this old but very cute Ojijiang. In Japanese, it's called old man, but cutely. He's holding our project poster, and they took a photo like for showing their respect and showing their support to our art project, which is really heartwarming. So at this point of time, we can see that we established a real relationship with a local community, and we feel like we're truly a member of it. Now, the second picture is also something we need to explain, because from the 2022, since we found that there is an independent cinema which is called Namida Bash Ho, is regularly doing art project locally, and who had a positive perspective to working with us. So officially from 2022, we launched the Sairai Video, which is a film festival alongside of Sairai Art Festival, seeking for films on like various types of forms such as documentary, animation, drama, etc., with ethnographic topics. And since this year, we project those films in Namida Bash Ho every year. And we also improved our guide maps. So in the second year, we had more than 11 artists. So it's in first year, we had just 7. So every year, this art festival is getting bigger and bigger. Like before we call this a festival, it's a tiny one. Like the official name that we put on our project proposal was a tiny festival. But from the second and third edition, the Japanese cultural administrative, they say that this kind of project is not tiny anymore, so you need to change the name. So that's why our project today is Sairai Art Festival. So this picture shows that Sairai Arts Festival is not art on paper, not art, just fine art or visual art, but it's very mediatic. Like we use live streaming, how do you say, like live streaming Metal Rock Live to project it on the street wall, and people who pass in front of the roller gate, they can just step by and listening and have fun with a concert. And we also invited some kind of outsider artists. That means they are not really being trained, like they never received any professional art education, but they train themselves in some kind of way. We found several day workers who live here, who continue creating in different forms for a long time. So what you can see on the picture of the left side, this man, he's you can imagine that he is only a day worker because he drawn at least maybe 1,000 or 2,000 portraits of the famous people. So we exhibit what he drew in past 10 years, just on the wall of the hotel where he is living. And we took a documentary of him. So that's what you are seeing and appearing on our camera. So by presenting a different kind of form of art, we find a lot of mutual dialogue in cooperation with the space and with the people. As you can see from those pictures, there's not only conversation from conversation between artists and visitors, but a lot of local people. This art project draws their attention, and how to say, like, this project is really making this place more vital than before. So I might explain before, the local regional organization was very defensive and very hard to penetrate. But after 2 years effort, we are able to cooperate with them, and we're able to speak with them equally today. And after all of that, there are some facts that we summed up. So first, the history of Sanya, or generally in Tokyo, for this giant city, the history is not only belongs to people who live there. So in this case, for the Japanese, the city's history is not only for the Japanese, and it's never gonna be. But this history is also to the foreigners. Even this is a history of the gender. And secondly, apart from the historical legacy of the first wave of Chinese immigrants forming gangs and fighting each other in the 80s, today's Sanya is a gathering place for foreign investors, backpackers, and illegal immigrants. So that's why we're saying this place is really a heterotopia. And the third is that the local people who participated in the riots and had maybe a violent perspective and a tendency of antisocial is growing older. It's growing old. So that means this place is not dangerous anymore, and it's actually accessible for ordinary people. So after 2010, the Japanese government has attracted a large amount of foreign capital in order to gentrify this local investment environment. Because foreign people, they don't have a stereotype, so they do not understand the history of Sanya. Therefore, they hold no any prejudice, and they wanted to find their own place in Japan, in Tokyo. So that's why they choose to invest in this place. So those facilities that we were collaborating with, maybe they have, maybe all of them have a foreign owner, have a foreign CEO just behind of all those facilities operation system. So who we are cooperated with are not only Japanese who is standing in front of these facilities, but behind them there are a lot of foreigners who is trying to find their way by saving this city. Then after 2 years of practice, a lot of media and Japanese society started noticing us, and the work is becoming harder and harder for only 2 or 3 people to handle. So from the 2023, the original member and founder, we decided to set up a production team and in this way that we are able to continue to do this work a year and a year. So here comes to establishment of our production team, which named 3DEX Data. The name of 3DEX is from our history of production, because at the first place we have just 3 members, and the data is from Dadaism. And in Japanese, if you pronounce this name in Japanese kanji, you will get Sanya. So it's a kind of interaction, but phonetically, of Sanya, this place, and our operation team. So Sanya Data is a planning and production team with backgrounds in art, in humanities, and computer science. And of course, we're based in Tokyo. So under the theme of community and social constructions, we bring together emerging Japanese artists and young international artists to explore the possibility of contemporary cities, of contemporary art from different perspectives, and to organize, implement art projects, and that combine artistic creation and social research, or we could say social innovation. The first thing after our establishment, we hold a solo exhibition which is called 7-Day Birthing. So this solo exhibition is mainly aimed to reconstruct the reality of outsiders by exposing what we did in last 2 years in Sanya. So it's a kind of retrospective exhibition. So as you can see, this is our scenic photo of the solo exhibition. This material, this blue sheet, it's quite normal that you can find in Sanya area, because it's a material that is not only waterproof, but also keeps warm well. So a lot of vagabonds, they use this kind of material to build their own tent, and trying to sleep on the street or in a park. So yes, in Sanya area, the park is not public, but being occupied by those homeless people. So to giving a reference of this material, in 2023, we built a tent of blue sheet, and every visitors who pass in front of our reception, they will see this huge blue sheet installation that we put here. It's kind of like a land art or public sculpture in a certain form. And we're so glad to be able to do it with the permission of local government. So in 2023, that we can see this Sairai Art Festival project is truly rooted in the community of Sanya, and we hold tons of conference and symposium, both artistically and academically, but we only talk something is really easy and understandable to local people, and we value their témoignage in a certain way. So from the 2023, since we find out that there exist a lot of hotels maybe daily or monthly rented in this area, who support those basic life of day workers, we decided to start a new project in our frame of art festival, which is called Sairai Air, means artist in residence. So basically we provide 4 different kind or sort of hotel. So some of them are simple lodging facility with supervision, which means if you're Asian people, if you are living in this kind of lodge, there would be someone to taking care of your life, but it's not a house caring house. It's just someone would be there in case of dangerous situation. Or you can choose a lodging for general travelers, as I mentioned before. Usually this kind of hotels are for young backpackers, and most of them are from Europe or America. Then finally you can see that there is affordable accommodation for long stays. So that means you can rental this hotel from 1 month to 2 months or 3 months. So if artists want, they can just stay here for a long period and making their artworks as they want. But in our Sairai Air project, we only provide 2 weeks maximum for this artist freely, that they can really get into the local people's life and doing field work and earn their trust, maybe, then express themselves in an artistic or in a cooperative way with these local facilities. So here's a photo of the exhibition of 2023. The left column shows a work of live painting of a painter. So as I mentioned before, we noticed the blue sheet as most identical material of this region. This painter used this material as a canvas, and he drew the picture of what he captured in this site, I believe, in Sanya. So people who is working, a dog, and a couple who are maybe wandering on the street, and he just painted on the floor, on the asphalt. And we had artworks which is shown on the rooftop, which means if you want to access to this work, you have to climbing maybe 5 or 6 floors to finally get here. But we think it's kind of funny, outside of tiring, because people who is interested to this project and who wanted to explore the city, they kind of want to get into some spaces which is not that public. For them, it's more like an adventure than just like behold some kind of artistic artworks. And at the right column, you see the picture of a coin locker. This is another artist who made, we can say, it's kind of a miniature art object in every single coin locker. So when you open one of it, you will find the item object that appears in the daily workers life. Like for example, the onigiri, which is composed by rice, by alg, like or another kind of fillings. This is principal food that they took every day for the daily workers. So there is at least 20 or 30 coin locker that you can discover in his artworks. And the final picture shows a man who is playing guitar. This work is really, really impressive because this guitarist, he was majoring in art hailing or audio hailing, and he wanted to give a recipe to local people who is under really hard to imagine life stress. So he just sits here and playing guitar, but the place that he's sitting is what we call private park, because this park is not public anymore. It was occupied by the by this vagabond. So somehow he earned their trust, and he was able to get into their area, to get into their territories, and find a place to play his guitar calm, like very smoothly, we can say that. And a lot of his listeners were a lot of homeless. So we can say it's a kind of big move to our project, because in last 2 years we never really find somewhere to show our artworks that is not public. So those pictures also shows what we did in 2022. It's a film festival and photograph composition workshop. So finally, we're going to introduce to you the 3DEX data his works in 2024. So at the left side, you can see we had a team of volunteers who, these are a group of young people who are passionate and willing to participate to this outsider street, to this Sanya area. And they talk to the local people there. They talk to the visitors. They talk to workers, and they were trying to use their own way to build a conversation with somewhere that they don't know, with somewhere that we call heterotopia. And the picture on the right side is a picture of Sanya Data's member and local facilities workers. So as you can see, a lot of supporter or the master of supporting house of the NPO, like the organizations here, they are all female. So I think this is another interesting social phenomenon that we need to dig further, maybe. So why in this kind of slum or in this kind of ski road, we find always women who is supporting, the women who are supporting to this community, the women who try to build a conversation or the concept of community to accept those homeless people. So the picture in the top left and the second top left that you can see here is a painter that we invited for 2024's event, and he was painting in the private park. So again, we get a permission, and what he did is really interesting because he's a PhD candidate in communication painting. So that means during his artistic creation, he paint, but by communicating with people. So it's more like a kind of performing or performance art, because the action that he was doing is not just drawing or painting, but trying to find his own relationship, like his movement, like the relationship of his hand movement and the local environment and these people who live in here. So as you can see, the background of his painting is like movable house of those homeless, and we can see a bunch of the blue sheet. In the picture of the middle is an artist who created a performance art which is called Home. She made a lot of home-like walls, like you can see the typical triangle form on the top of the wall. That means this is a house. You can also find this kind of image or icon in the children's painting, because when you ask a child to draw a house, they will always draw a house with a triangle top roof. So that's why she built a lot of house in this kind of form, but in different size. And she made every kind of wall stand independently and carefully. But somehow, if there is a wind, if there's a strong wind, what she did will be destroyed immediately. So by doing this kind of performance, she wants to say that the concept or the notion of home, of house, is kind of fragile, but it's also movable and also reconstructible. So it's truly heart touching, this work, this performance work that she was doing. And so on the right side, on the top of the right side, as you can see, there is a girl painting the window of a hotel. Actually, this is paid work that was asked by the host of this hotel, because they want to just simply make this hotel beautiful, since what we're doing here is a kind of art project and art for people that is beautiful and visual, something you can say, and something which can make you smile. So she asked us that to decorate those windows with anything, with any kind of painting or drawing. So as you can see, each window was painted by different participants. Those are not only artists, but they can be also just outsiders, just somebody who wants to paint, just visitors of this art project. Well, of course, those motifs, those picture was designed before, but if you want to join, you can improvise something, some kind of pattern that was not being designed. So this is kind of a funny project also. And the final picture, on the picture you can see a lot of people was watching movie of the outside. So in 2024, our Sairai video project firstly used the open air cinema mode to project film that we created. And this permission was not really easy, because if you want to occupy public place, you need to go through a lot of administrative process, and from time to time, this is not only a problem of a rent of money, but also a problem of invasion of public space of the neighborhood. So we were truly glad to have a place to hold this open air cinema. I don't know, in maybe Spanish speaking region, you have also this kind of tradition of open cinema since 60 years ago. Those kind of projection machine was not popularized. So we think maybe by doing this kind of form of projecting, we will draw up some reminiscent emotion of people, and give them a public place to talk, to communicate, because in Japanese, the cinema spaces in Japan, the cinema space are really strict. Like you really can't make any kind of noise in the cinema, and when you really want to share your opinions with your friends, your partners, it could be strictly refused by the other audience. So this is kind of a problem of Japanese today's contemporary art, like to my opinion, because there's no public space where allowed audience to exchange their ideas equally. So people won't talk, people won't show what they are thinking. So there is not opinion, there is not critique, there is nothing. So we don't know what people want, what they want to say, what kind of art they are looking for, and we don't know. So what we did is going to bring what kind of thing to them. So I think this is not really healthy for growing contemporary art. So that's why we think open air cinema, it's really nice, because here you can hear the environmental sound. We do not require you to stay silent, and the cinema sounds will just entangle with environmental sounds. Like in the end, they will make a harmoniously symphony to your ears, and you can just chit chat with your friend and have a cup of wine, have a cup of drink, and enjoy your cinema chili. So in this year, we're going to use this kind of way of projecting again, and hoping this can be a mode of public art project in Japan. So finally, in 2025, now we are in intense preparation phase. So actually, recently I'm really busy. So this presentation is really, I made it really simple. Maybe there are a lot of perspectives that I haven't mentioned, but if you're interested, you can just raise your hand and ask me. So right now we are, we just finished the selecting phase of films or animations, and we already announced this year's air artist. So the artist in residence, they are already start their resident period in Sanya area, and we really hope that in 1 month they will bring something new, bring some something of their perspectives, and show what they saw, what they observed in Sanya in their way in this year's October in our art festival. Also from 2022, we started a lot of different projects and cooperation with overseas organizations and institutions, including academic research, including conference representation with Europe, with East Asia and East South Asia. So finally, just for emphasize our purpose, we, as a member of the 3DEX data, I want to say that really throughout through the art, both the residents of Sanya and those outside can deepen their understanding of the community, respect the atmosphere and the way of life created by the certain place, accept the diversity of life, and maybe ask questions while examining the current situation of Sanya and rethinking the contradictions and the conflicts that inevitably arise from the urban development and consistently evoking or stimulating the potential energy and value of the region, of the certain region. So the mode that we build is organization plus artists plus local residents, and we hope this kind of mode of art project will give you inspiration of what we're going to do maybe in the future, since urban development problem is happening in every country which choose a way of industrialization, or which choose a way of participate the circulation of global economy. So at the final of these times of presentation, I have one question and two phrases to talk to you, which is in the rapid development and frequent demolition have led the cities to continually compromise towards homogenization. And diverse cultures are piled up in the gaps of urban development. Who defines the structure of the city, and who divides the classes? So we really need to think about this question. Then the others of the city drift onto this certain land, take a route, and build in their own places. And by creating spaces of communication through art and reflecting on urban development and immigration, the 3DEX data will bring the others included from the city back into the view, and we see others through our own eyes and understand ourselves through others. So by asking the question of who, of how, we think maybe we can find a better way to understand each other and the truly meaning of each other. So by a re-examination of outsider, this activities allows us to develop a more detailed and inclusive vision of cities and even for the future. So thank you so much for listening. This is today's presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any question, just tell me and I will try to answer to you. For example, situation of art or of city in Tokyo today, maybe?
Thank you to you, Pulaixin. It has been very, very interesting deep dive on your project. And can you just take the presentation off, please, so we can start the dialogue?
Yes.
Now I can see you. It's night there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need your light. There was really
It's,
interesting and a lot of questions in my mind. But mainly it's congratulations, because to get into any community when you're an outsider, even if it's a outsider community, I mean a community full of outsiders, is really difficult. It's really difficult, and well, you know very well that. But to go again and again to follow the one the project that started one time and following it through the years, it helps really to wave this net of collaborations and understanding and things. So it's very important to do that, because mainly many of the projects I know just go one day, one time, do a precious, beautiful artworks and projects and everything, and then they leave. So they just break this possible chance of, yeah, collaboration and understanding, you know. So congratulations for that. It's
thank you.
growing really fast. I mean, and the fact that you had to organize and made this three docs that it's important, because yeah, uh, the, while you have more people working on the organization and everything, the logistics and everything, it's basic. And
Thank
I tell you that because I work this festival by myself, and I know that it's very difficult to
you.
manage everything. Yes, and the to fight somehow against the gentrification of the city. That's what
Mhm.
you are doing with this project. It's also very interesting how you do it. The question you ask at the end of and who decides and how who is setting the classes, the yeah, the social classes. Well, we know who made this, no? Obviously, it's the power and the capitalism and all this management. But to
Yeah, but I think it's kind of it's a detailed question in different cultural background.
yeah, of course.
Like
But
yeah,
yeah, you tell me. I mean, it's strictly in Japan. There's something different,
Mm.
no? And it doesn't surprise me that women are the main collaborators and organizers and things, because that happens everywhere. The women are the first to be motivated to work with people. So that's good too. I mean, three docs that are only women, or mainly women, no, too.
yeah.
So that's also very, very nice. And about the screening, projecting videos or films in the public spaces,
Hmm.
something also very interesting, and it gives people the openness of be there and do whatever they want, and leave if they want, and come and all that. And I am also in the festival implementing this too. It's not easy, but it will take their high level somehow. So because it's, I mean, one of the things that we have, we, you and me, and everybody that works on this kind of projects wants to do is to take the art to the street, to the public, that the common people anywhere. So yeah, that screening in public spaces is a very good strategy. So keep on doing it. Yeah.
Thank you for your comments. Yeah, and keep on doing your um, like collaboration with Asian region too, please, because what you're doing right now is really remarkable, and I can't find another female curator who live in Mexico or other Spanish region who is doing this kind of job. So it's truly precious. So
I won't stop. Don't worry.